Hello, my name is Dara Adigbala. Welcome to the very first episode of my book club. I will be reviewing this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by the late Stephen Covey. I think this is by far one of the best life-changing book ever written and my personal favorite. The book has been life-changing for me and I really hope it can be life-changing for you as well. It is one book I have read a couple of times. I think one reason why the book is so important is that the habits highlighted can fit into every aspect of our lives, either becoming a fulfilling person, building worthwhile relationships, succeeding at our workplace, or even becoming a better business person. I'll be sharing the lessons I've learned and a quick summary of the book. The late Stephen Richard Covey was an American educator, author, businessman, and speaker. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was his most popular book, and it is also an international bestseller. The book was published in 1989, that's about 35 years ago, and the principles highlighted are still valuable till today. The very first lesson I took away from the book is the concept of paradigm and perception. The idea of paradigm and perception are more like a continuum. The author was able to point out that our paradigm represents our inner subconscious state. Our paradigms are those deeply ingrained beliefs and mindsets that shape how we understand and interact with the world around us. It is our innate mindset that we have unconsciously and consciously adopted. These paradigms are formed from what we have learned over time, often without even realizing it. They shape our automatic responses to the world around us. This subconscious framework that is also called paradigm influences and guides our perception. Perception, on the other hand, is the lens through which we see the world, and it is deeply shaped by our paradigm. If we begin to understand that everybody functions from their paradigm, we tend to see the world differently and act accordingly. Well, truly, we do not really see the world as it is, but rather we see the world as our paradigm interprets it. One common example of paradigm is how parents sometimes relate to their kids. The author gave instance of how he and his wife's expectation for their son to play baseball influenced their child in a negative way. Because they had expectation of how he should play, they were trying to push him in a particular way to improve his swing and hit the ball more during game. Every form of motivation they tried did not work until they allowed their son actually plan his schedule himself and train the way he saw fit. When they allowed their son to be himself, to choose when and how he wanted to play, he improved dramatically, far beyond their expectations. This shift in perception, guided by a change in paradigm, led to a more accurate understanding of this child's abilities and potentials. Sometimes, all it takes is a shift in paradigm to unlock hidden potentials. Another significant aspect of paradigm is culture. Culture is something we unconsciously absorb, and it forms the lens through which we view the world around us. When we are deeply engulfed in our cultural paradigms, we often pass judgment based on them. For example, let's look at the idea of two societies. Imagine society A, there's a prevailing cultural perception that success is closely tied to hard work, long hours, and career advancement. The hustle culture often glorifies being constantly busy and working overtime. This is seen as signs of dedication and ambition. This cultural paradigm leads many people to equate their self-worth with their professional achievement and productivity. Now, in contrast to society A, there's a society B that holds a different view of work-life balance. Here, there's a strong cultural value placed on spending time with family, enjoying leisure activities, and maintaining personal well-being. In this society, working excessively long hours may be perceived negatively, as it suggests poor time management or an inability to maintain a balanced life. Also, in this society, employers often encourage employees to take vacation and leave work at a reasonable time. Now, these contrasting paradigms of society A and B influence how individuals in this society view success and fulfillment. In society A, someone who chooses to leave work early to spend time with family might be seen as less ambitious, while in society B, the same behavior could be viewed as a sign of a well-rounded and successful life. This example is reiterating the fact that cultural paradigms shape perception. It influences how we interpret behaviors and make judgments about what we value. Understanding and recognizing the impact of paradigm on perception can help us become more aware of our own biases and more open to diverse perspectives. The second lesson that was significant in the book is the concept of integrity. According to the author, integrity simply means aligning one's intention with action. Our lives are about finding a balance between who we are, our intentions, and what we perceive ourselves to be, because ultimately we become what we think we are. Integrity is maintained when actions and words align, when our intentions match our outward actions. Whether we like it or not, we are judged by how we are perceived, and this judgment is often based on both our actions and inactions, as well as the words we use. Integrity is built when there is consistency between what we say and what we do. Now, on a personal level, for every time there is a consistency of our actions over time, that's how good long-lasting friendships are built. A typical example could be someone you call family, for instance, that it is not blood related. I'm sure this was not because you called the person family the very first time you met them. It is because of the consistency with their actions which has built trust. And they will not be consistent with their actions if it doesn't align with who they are. It will require so much to continue with the facade of inauthentic actions, and subsequently, this will lead to fallout. As individuals, it is necessary to look for consistency in the actions of people around us. If there's not always an alignment, building a strong and lasting relationship would not be possible. In business, this concept of integrity is also very crucial. If a business claims that a product has certain qualities but it fails to meet those expectations, the business loses customer trust. And where there's no consistency in product, it is difficult to retain customer. Just look at the biggest companies, your favorite product, your favorite artist, and your best friend. You will not call them this if there was no integrity in what they do. For me, for instance, Burna Boy is one of my favorite artists, and his stage performance is lit. I mean, super lit. He's someone I will always love to see, because I know for every time I go to his live performance, I will always get a worthwhile experience. It is when there's an alignment between the core values of a company, product, and customer satisfaction that a company can build a consistent customer base. There are two quotes in the book that helps to explain the concept of integrity. But there's one by the psalmist which goes thus: "Search your own heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life." Similarly, there's also another quote in the book by William George Jordan, which says, as I quote, "Into the hands of every individual is given a marvelous power for good or evil. The silent, unconscious, unseen influence of his life. This is simply the constant radiation of what a man really is, not what he pretends to be." So, we should not be defined by our moods or feelings. Rather, we should be defined by the consistency and integrity of our actions, and the alignment between our intentions and actions. That builds our integrity. Third important lesson from the book is the idea of choice and consequences. The concept of choice is fundamental to how we live our lives. The choices we make shape our future and define our outcome. For us to make good choices, we need to recognize all the available options. Only when we fully understand the options before us can we make informed decisions. The author was able to emphasize that choice lies in between stimulus and response. For every time there is a stimulus, and stimulus here means whatever is happening around us or our environment, it's our choice that determines the responses to these situations, and these responses defines the consequences that follow. It is in this moment of decision that our growth and happiness are actually determined. Every choice we make carries within it the potential for personal development and fulfillment. However, before making any choice, it is crucial that we create a synergy between who we are and what our ultimate goals are. It is when there's harmony between our true self and expectations that making choices not only gets easier, but are more aligned with our long-term aspiration. But to harness this potential, we must approach our decisions with a deep sense of awareness. The freedom to choose is enriched by our self-awareness, imagination, conscience, and independent will. These elements shape our choices, allowing us to act not just reactively, but with purpose and clear intentions. When we make choices, it's not simply about picking an option, it's about weighing the pros and cons of each possibility. We must consider how each choice aligns with our values, goals, and the broader impact it may have on ourselves and on people around us. Expanding our perspective is essential in this process. By taking a step back and considering the bigger picture, we can visualize the possible consequences of our choices and better understand how they align with who we are. However, it is important to recognize that every choice and action carries consequences, both expected and unexpected. For example, a company's goal might be to increase sales and revenue, but if there aren't enough staff to support this growth, The unintended consequences could be employee burnout, decreased morale, and ultimately a failure to meet those sales targets. Therefore, when acting, it is necessary to consider both actions and inactions. When we fail to weigh these factors, it can limit the scope of what we plan to achieve. For every decision or choice, it is a balancing between potential benefit and risk, between what we intend and what might occur. By consciously considering the scope of our actions and their potential repercussions, we can better navigate the complexities of decisions and move closer to achieving our goals. When we know how powerful our choices are, it comes with a significant responsibility. By aligning our choices with our true selves and long-term goals, and by carefully considering both the expected and unexpected consequences, we can make choices that can lead to personal growth, fulfillment, and success. Thank you for watching this video thus far. If you find the video interesting, kindly subscribe. Thank you. The fourth important lesson is the time management quadrant. We all know how effective time management is crucial for both personal and professional success. One of the most important tools to achieve this is the management quadrant. It is a concept that is rooted in prioritization that has been widely recognized under different names. Some might call it the Eisenhower matrix or the 4 quadrants of time management. The management quadrant teaches us that instead of prioritizing our schedule, we should schedule our priorities. The quadrant is based on using the criteria of importance and urgency to prioritize our activities. It can be divided into high importance, low importance, high urgency, and low urgency. The idea is that high importance and high urgency should be a short-term, time-limited task. It could be preparing for an exam or meeting a deadline or doing a work for your organization. Basically, these are tasks that are time-limited. However, the most important quadrant will be quadrant 2, which is the not urgent but important task. Placing a strong emphasis on quadrant 2 activities which are important but not urgent shape our lives. These tasks are often overlooked because they don't demand immediate attention. Yet, it is precisely these tasks, such as learning new skills or having a vision of a particular goal, that sets the stage for long-term success and personal satisfaction. By focusing on important but not urgent tasks, we invest in activities that prevent future problems, create opportunities, and contribute to our overall well-being. This proactive approach enables us to manage our time more effectively, to reduce the stress of constant firefighting, and move closer to our long-term goals. The management quadrant is a powerful tool for mastering time management and prioritization. An easy example is someone working for a company but also have a goal of starting a business. Now, the work responsibility could pass for high importance and high urgent task, while what he needs to become a business owner could be classified as high importance but low urgency task. It is important that such a person create a balance between these activities, because if not, the person can be consumed with the job tasks, neglecting what is more important to him. By understanding and applying this concept, we can better manage our time, reduce stress, and focus on what really matters to us. So I also did a video on time management. I'm going to be putting the link in the description of the video. So after this video, you can go ahead and check it out. Another important lesson is the concept of independence. Growth, whether in personal development or organizational progress, follows a natural progression through 3 distinct stages: dependence, independence, and interdependence. These stages represent the journey from reliance on others to self-sufficiency, and ultimately to a cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship with others. Each stage is crucial, and understanding them can help us navigate our personal lives, relationships, and even business ventures more effectively. I'll be using 2 examples to illustrate this. First will be how we grow in life, and second will be in the business context. Now, using how we grow in life, dependence can be seen as the initial stage of growth, like the experience of a child. At this stage, the child is heavily reliant on others around them, particularly parents, teachers, or guardians for their basic needs and decision making. The child is not yet capable of making decisions or managing life on their own, and depend on the support and knowledge of those around them. As the child matures into their late teens and early 20s, they enter the stage of independence. This stage is characterized by self-reliance, where the individual can make their own decisions and manage their responsibilities, and also pursue their goals without the constant need for external assistance. Independence is marked by a sense of freedom and the ability for self-fulfillment. Interdependence is the next stage of growth, where the individual recognizes that success is not just about standing alone, but about collaborating and complementing others. In personal life, this stage can be exemplified by marriage, or friendship, where partners support and complement each other, creating a balanced and harmonious life. Each partner or friend brings their strength to the relationship and build together. They achieve more than they could have individually. In the business context, dependence can be likened to the early stages of a company's life, where it relies heavily on external resources such as funding, mentorship, and market research. The company usually is in its infancy, learning the ropes of industry and depending on others to help it grow and survive. This stage is essential for actually laying the foundation, as it allows the individual and organization to build the necessary skill, knowledge, and the resources that they need to succeed in the future. Now, for a company, independence corresponds to the stage where it has established itself in the market. It is generating revenue and can sustain operation without relying heavily on external support. Here, the business is in its growth phase, expanding its reach, refining its products and services, and becoming more self-sufficient. Independence is a crucial stage, as it signifies that the company or individual has developed the capability to operate autonomously, making decisions that will drive their future success. Still, in the business context, interdependence occurs when a company moves beyond mere survival and begins to thrive through strategic partnerships, collaboration, and social involvement. This stage is about measuring growth not just by profits but by how effectively the company contributes to and benefits from its relationship with businesses, customers, and the broader community. A company in the interdependence stage understands that true success comes from working together, sharing resources, and supporting others to achieve common goals. Now, a good reference was how Vusi Tembakwayo gave for 3 types of founders. If interested, you can check out the link in the description. It is necessary to also note that growth is a journey that requires passing through all the necessary stages. Each stage, which is dependence, independence, and interdependence, plays a vital role in development. Dependence builds the foundation, independence strengthens self-reliance, and interdependence fosters collaboration and mutual respect. Now, talking about the habits specifically, the author mentioned 2 victories: private victory and public victory. Private victory is a concept that emphasizes the importance of personal development and inner growth as the foundation for external success. We can't achieve success on the outside without necessarily achieving it on the inside. Now, Stephen Covey outlines the first 3 habits that contribute to this inner triumph, which are: habit 1, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first things first. This habit focuses on developing self-mastery, personal responsibility, and clarity of purpose. By cultivating this habit, we build a strong internal foundation, enabling us to achieve greater success. And we should always remember that true success comes from within. Now, be proactive. The first step towards private victory is embracing the habit of being proactive. It means recognizing that we are responsible for our own life and that our choices rather than circumstances determine our outcomes. Proactive individuals focus on what they can control and work on to expand their influence by consistently making choices that align with their goals and values. This habit is about taking initiative, being the driver of your life rather than a passenger reacting to external events. There's a quote by Samuel Johnson in the book which goes thus: "The fountain of content must spring up in the mind. He who had so little knowledge of human nature as to seek happiness by changing anything but his own disposition will waste his life in fruitless efforts and multiply the grief he proposes to remove." Now, this quote summarizes the essence of being proactive. Happiness and success comes from within, not from external circumstances. By focusing on our internal disposition, we harness the power to shape our lives, achieving true contentment and lasting success. Please remember that the key to living a fulfilling life lies in the ability to take charge by making intentional choices and driving your own journey. Now, habit 2, which is beginning with the end in mind. The second habit is about having a clear vision of what you want to achieve in life. It encourages us to think deeply about our long-term goals and values, ensuring that our daily actions align with our vision. This habit involves creating a personal mission statement or a guiding principle that serves as a blueprint for our decisions and action. This does not just actually mean writing a mission statement, but it means aligning your values and using real life principles to shape your own life. Because if you are true with this, you unconsciously live an intentional life. By knowing where you want to go, you can set meaningful goals and stay focused on the path that leads to your desired outcome. However, many of us might find this difficult because our life mission statements can change as time passes. And this is why the habits are important, because as we constantly find new purpose for our lives, we are continuously looking inward, becoming better people in the process. Most importantly, it's essential to clarify our values before setting goals. As Stephen Covey notes in the book, most people say their main fault is lack of discipline. On a deeper thought, he believes that this is not so. He believes the basic problem is that our priorities have not been deeply planted in our hearts and mind. We haven't internalized habits too, which is to begin with the end in mind. By internalizing these habits, we create a powerful foundation for our lives, guiding us towards true fulfillment and success. Now, habit 3 is put first things first. The third habit involves time management and prioritization. It's not just about getting more things done. It's actually about organizing our life around our most important goals and values. Rather than being swayed by urgent but less significant tasks, this habit encourages us to identify and focus on activities that contribute to our long-term vision. Even if these activities don't offer immediate gratification, by putting first things first, we ensure that our time and energy are invested in what truly matters. This will lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Now, public victory. Public victory is a concept that focuses on achieving success in the social context. It is about taking the mastery we've gained over ourselves and extending it into how we interact with others. This habit emphasizes building and maintaining effective relationship with others, understanding that true success is often a collective effort. Public victory follows the idea of private victory, where we first master ourselves, then apply that foundation to achieve worthwhile goals. Now, when we foster trust, mutual respect, and collaboration, we not only achieve our objective, but also help others achieve theirs, creating a win-win scenario. Public victory isn't just about professional success. It enriches every relationship, whether with colleagues, friends, or family. When we achieve public victory, you not only find success in our endeavors, but also build a meaningful and connected life. Habits 4, 5, and 6 covers public victory, which are think win-win, seek first to understand, then be understood, and synergize. Now, think win-win. This habit is about seeking mutual benefit in all interactions. Rather than competing with others, we aim for solutions that satisfy the needs and interests of all parties involved. A win-win mindset fosters collaboration, trust, and positive relationships. It is actually the foundation for successful partnership and teamwork, as it encourages an abundance mentality, where success is not just a limited resource. I love this part so much because it makes us think in the paradigm of abundance. The concept of interdependence plays a significant role here, because when we think win-win, we think in terms of abundance. Now, habit 5, seek first to understand, then be understood. Effective communication is critical to public victory. This habit emphasizes the importance of empathic listening. That's really understanding the other person's perspective before presenting your own. By truly listening, we build trust and demonstrate respect, which paves the way for open and honest conversations. Once we understand the other person's point of view, we can express our ideas more effectively. This will usually lead to a more productive and meaningful interactions. Habit 6 is synergize. Synergy is the outcome of creative cooperation, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This habit is about leveraging the strength of diverse individuals to create solutions that are better than anyone could achieve alone. Synergy thrives in an environment of trust, respect, and open-mindedness. It's the ultimate expression of teamwork and collaboration, where differences are seen as opportunities rather than obstacles. Synergy by its nature involves continuous communication and mutual trust. While the outcome of synergistic efforts may be uncertain, the belief in greater collective results drives the process. The essence of synergy is valuing differences and creating something bigger together than what could be achieved individually, whether in personal relationship, professional settings, or community involvement. The ability to work well with others is key to success in synergizing. By mastering this habit of synergy and of public victory, we can enhance our ability to lead and influence others. Now, this not only makes us more effective in achieving our goals, but also enriches our relationships, leading to a more fulfilling life and connected life. Also, when we think public victory, it is important to clarify expectations, whether in personal or professional context, because if we don't manage expectations, frustration often stems from unmet expectations, which are frequently shaped by societal norms rather than our own values. The author noted that in public victory, the end and means are not separable. The end should pre-exist in the means. Now, the seventh habit, sharpen the saw. This habit emphasizes the importance of continuous self-renewal and personal development. Just as the saw needs to be sharpened regularly to remain useful, we too must take time to renew and improve ourselves in various aspects of our life. Stephen Covey outlines 4 key dimensions for self-renewal that individuals should focus on. They are physical renewal, mental renewal, emotional or social renewal, and spiritual renewal. Physical renewal involves caring for our own body through regular exercise, proper nutrition, sufficient sleep, and stress management. Physical renewal enhances our energy, endurance, and overall health, allowing us to be more effective in our daily activities. Mental renewal is about continuously expanding our knowledge and skills, engaging in lifelong learning, reading, problem solving, and creating activities that helps keep the mind sharp and adaptive. Emotional and social renewal focuses on nurturing relationships and maintaining emotional well-being. This includes building strong, positive connection with others, practicing empathy, and managing emotions effectively. It also involves seeking balance in our relationship and contributing positively to the lives of others. Spiritual renewal involves connecting with your core values and principles, which provide purpose and meaning to your life. This can be achieved through meditation, prayer, reflection, or engaging in activities that align with our beliefs. Sharpening the saw is about maintaining balance across these 4 dimensions. Neglecting any one of them can lead to burnout, reduced effectiveness, and a diminished quality of life. Regularly investing time and energy into self-renewal ensures that we remain effective, resilient, and capable of achieving our goals over the long term. Sharpening the saw is not just a one-time event, but a continuous process. By repeating this cycle, we reinforce the habits and principles that guide effective living. Life is a journey, and like rereading a book and revisiting familiar concepts, each iteration brings new insight and deeper understanding. I'll be ending with a quote by T.S. Eliot, observed in the book. It goes thus: "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." To be truly effective, we need to be proactive by beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first. The goal should be to think win-win, when we seek first to understand, then be understood. This will create synergy that help us to continually improve through self-reflection. I know I've said quite a lot in this review, but trust me, the lessons in this book, they are quite inexhaustible. Thank you.